I'm so happy to see you here tonight. The mood that I'm in here tonight, comrades, is a serious mood. And the speaker before me is someone who sounded just like I would, vexed. And I'm so sorry that I have to come on this podium feeling vexed. You know, my colleagues talk about placing a sexy X. Well, since 1992, every time I voted with a vex X. I almost want to dig up the paper because my ex didn't canon since 1992 until 2015. You understand me? And I want to say this, I am not happy ever talking about the PPP. The PPP is no longer, in my view, a party. They have molded themselves into being a gang of grabbers whose main intentions or agenda is basically to plunder the resources of this nation of ours, to deprive you, the ordinary citizens, of your rights and the good life that you are entitled to, the life promised by His Excellency, none other than President David Arthur Granger. DJ, music.
Voting PPP impossible to do. We don't want PPP no more. Remember what PPP do. Jack Taylor keep lying true and true. Find hiding it. Stop trying to fool we. PPP, yes, we fed up of you. We ain't forget all that to do. Stop trying to we.
Comrades, the elections, E-Day, draw it near. And as it gets closer, the need for us to become even more serious becomes apparent and necessary. I want you to focus on what you have to do in order to ensure that you yourself enjoy every promise made by His Excellency and the APNU-AFC coalition. I will not even attempt to compare David Arthur Granger with the presidential candidate that the PPP has put up. It is cheese to chalk. Comrades, I can recognize that you as a people, as supporters of the coalition, as supporters of His Excellency, you would have already felt that the writing is on the wall. Victory is ours come March the 2nd. And from now until March the 2nd, we will continue relentlessly on this great march to March the 2nd. It's a no contest. PPP versus the coalition. We're going to judge, and you are going to judge and distinguish the difference between the two parties. As far as I am concerned, Guyana doesn't need an election. There is no option other than the APNU-AFC. But being the wise statesman he is, he has recognized that there is no longer a need for any one party rulership or rule in this country of ours. And thus, a coalition was formed. And the evidence is before each and every one of you, both at the national and local level. Comrades, there were times, there were years where I lived, many years, under the PPP administration, 23 odd years, when there were trenches and canals that you could not cross. Now we can readily see bridges. Bridges. And I don't have to identify them for you, they're there. You can see them. The darkness of our streets at nights is something of the past. We enjoy good lighting. The drainage, the flooding that we would have experienced over the years, that also is something of the past. Comrades, you don't need us to tell you what you have to do. And I'm talking to everyone in Newtown, Kitty. Those of you in your houses, hear me, hear me. Our message as a coalition is clear. If you would have noticed, since the launching of our campaign, you don't find our speakers coming on this podium with prepared speeches to fill you with political rhetoric and sugarcoating things. It's easy because they don't have to lie. The facts are there, and facts will always remain facts, cannot change. And therefore I say to you, be vigilant, be serious, mold yourself together, form a unit. Let's join hands together across the racial divide and put your X for the APNU, AFC. On March 2nd, we will form our gangs, our posses, and we will come from the east, the west, the north, the south. We will come with our old and our young, with our women and our children. Comrades, it is going to be a bit difficult for me to prolong this address because I tend to get emotional. Sometimes when I sit and I think about you and the sufferings that you endured over the years, tears come to my eyes. There was a movie called The Day the Earth Stood Still. Guyana stood still for many persons for 23 years. The lives of many of us literally stood still. But I say to you that the Almighty doesn't sleep. And if some of you would remember the movie that is shown pretty often or annually at around Easter time, 10 Commandments, you would remember that the great Ramses, after his stubborn and pig-headedness, would have come to realization. And when he would have tried all that he could and could not stop the children of Israel from being free from bondage, he looked to the heavens and he said, their God is God. On March the 3rd, Jack Dio and his cronies and his gang in Robb Street. On March the 3rd, they will look to the heavens and say, their president is president. I thank you.